What's going on, everybody? It's been a minute, but I am back, at least for now, to do a quick video for our good friend Scott Posey. Once again, another replay review for him. This time it is the 410 Wing Sprint Car at Cedar Lake. And he sent me this one earlier in the week, and I was really looking forward to watching this one, seeing his improvements from his first one to this one now. So um, just a quick kind of recollection, I think um, we talked about in the first one, Scott's biggest issues were using the whole track, getting up close to the wall, down the straightaways, and staying in the grip with the right rear and those kinds of things, and continuing to like keep the car winged over on the exit of the corners, and then driving it like down on the exit instead of staying up, keeping his momentum going forward. He wasn't letting the car kind of really roll right out of the corners, so to speak. So um, I watched this one earlier a little bit, and then I have some key points I want to hit on here. But uh, as a tip for Scott and for everybody, really, if you watch your replays back in like 4X, it kind of accentuates your car movements. So you can really see where you're wiggling and where you're shifting around the track and stuff. So that's just kind of a quick little tip to if you're ever watching this stuff at home on your own to put it on 4X, and you can really see where your car's wiggling and shaking, because if it follows you clearly, without the camera, like you seeing the side of the car a lot, like down the straightaways and stuff. Oops, too fast. You could see the tail end wiggle a lot like that, like how it goes really quickly. And then you can go back and watch it in regular speed or slow it down. See, here it doesn't look like it's that big of a movement, but when you do it in 4X, it really looks like, wow, I really snaked that straightaway. So I just wanted to point that out. But kind of in the heat race, I think that's why you got passed. I think that was the biggest thing. Not getting all the way up here to where the more banking's at, and then running it down the backstretch and keeping your momentum up. That was kind of causing you to snake this backstretch, and then this guy ended up getting around you. But it's funny because when he's on your inside here, you run the exit of this corner perfect. So I think you just need a car inside of you to really keep you from turning down left. It forced you to stay up here, and you ran that exit of 4 down the front stretch perfect. So I thought that was funny. But and then here he's on your inside again, and you don't snake as bad down the straightaway on the back on the back stretch. So that's kind of something maybe to keep in mind. Maybe just kind of always make pretend there's somebody on your inside when you're trying to run the outside like that, and it'll keep you from letting the car turn down that straightaway like that. And then we'll jump. So we jump to the feature here. I don't know what exactly happened on the feature here. But at the start here, it's like almost nobody knew you guys were gonna go green. I don't know if they thought he was gonna go there, and then like everybody was like, oh, like okay, hang on, let's. And then everybody like wants to come catch up. And I think that's just why you hit the wall here. Like nobody was really ready to go. Like this guy didn't go till he was almost at the flag stand. So. And then here, just when you're in the grip like this and you feel like you're heading towards the wall, just give it some gas and aggressively steer it, and to the left, and you shouldn't go directly into the wall. That it's just your wheels never go left here. I think that's the biggest takeaway from this. Like you never got it out of it, and that's why you lost. I think it was 3 spots on the start. But again, here on the feature, I think most of the problems come from the exit of 2. You do hit the front stretch wall a little bit sometimes, but your biggest issues are here on the exit of 2. And you can see it here. You enter low and you end up high on the exit of 2, and the wall kind of snuck up on you, and you got all the way to the gas, and everybody thankfully checked up behind you. But again, once you got to the exit of the corner, your car was so high that you're able to get back in the throttle and stay straight down the straightaway, because these right side tires were in the grip. There's a lap 4 and 5 here. I really wanted to point out. So you can see you're just tapping the front stretch wall every now and then. But from 4, let's see, let me go back here. So to start the lap, it's not great because you're not in an optimal line here. You're not low and you're not high. You're kind of just in this no man's land. But coming out of 2, you do a good job patient on the throttle. And you stay nice and high down the backstretch, nice and straight the whole way. And then getting back to lap 5, kind of the same thing. It looks like you're going to do, but then you just... I don't know if you didn't allow it to happen or giving it this little bit of gas here, like right about there, kind of kept you from getting all the way out there instead of kind of rolling into it a little easier. And then the car just steers back down the hill a little bit, and you're forced to kind of snake that straightaway. That's kind of the takeaway from a lot of this. And then this here, when you're getting out of the corner, I think there's just this car might be a little too tight mechanically. I think that's kind of the biggest issue here because this left rear, when you're getting out of this corner, it just kept driving you into this wall on the front stretch. And I think with all this grip here and the car with all the weight packed down on this left rear, I think it just kept pushing you out here into this wall, and that's why you kept going that way on the exit of 4. And that's why you kept snaking the straightaway on the backstretch, because you get down in here to the slick. If you don't have the right side up here, if you get down in here in the slick, this left rear gets a little bit of, a little bit more weight on it, and then, this tire is not high enough, and then this one has, more weight on it, and it pushes you up into that wall. I'll see it here in a couple laps, I think, where it's a little bit more drastic, but for the most part, early on, it wasn't bad. Like you were, you're a little bit lower than I think you would want to be, but you kind of, I think you're either just kind of maybe feeling it out or getting in your rhythm. But here's another one where you're entering a little bit low in the slick and then getting back out of it. So you get here, right rear gets grip, it turns you down the track, and then the left rear gets back in the grip, and you've got to steer it back up. There was another lap here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Let's watch this your quick lap real quick one more time, though, because I really liked your exit coming out of 4 here. So you're nice and high. And the right sides are in the grip all the way into turn 1. I think that's honestly where you made most of your time up. Yeah, the backstretch was not great. You're down in the slick a little bit, but I think because you were so good getting into 1 and 2, you were able to shave a couple tenths off this lap time. Not quite as high as you want to be here, and then that kind of forced you to, like, turn twice, kind of. And that's why you're a little bit low on the backstretch. But then you're nice and high in 3 and 4 also. Turned it off the cushion a little bit, but had to turn it again. Kind of turning twice, it seems like kind of part of the issue was too. And then into the wall again with that left rear just pushing you that way. There's another point here somewhere. Let's see if I can just fast forward and find it. See, when you go 4X, look at this. Let me go back farther. So let's look at 4X down this front stretch. So you can see just how the car kind of wiggle. You can go 2X, you wiggle. It's bumpy here at Cedar Lake. But that's stuff you don't know. Like if you go, like, let's slow it down to like half. When you're looking at it in half, you're like, okay, not bad. But you fast forward it and you can see like, holy crap, the car like wiggled a lot. There's one more. I think there's a caution on one of these laps. Yeah. I'm gonna show you this wreck here really quick also, because you can really see the difference in between loose and too loose and too tight. So this guy gets out of here and he's got the wing somewhat forward and the left front's like even kind of off the ground. So you can see like the weight is like on the back, on the right rear here. And and then he gets into the slick with it, and instead of it like snapping him, like snaking him, like once he gets here and then snaking him back, he stays on the throttle like too long also. But um, he you could tell he's just got a lot more weight on the right rear than your car, because he gets here and it just keeps going this way. The right rear just keeps spinning the car this way, and then he turns down right in front of that guy, and then kind of this guy gets kind of effed. His race ends because he hits a tire and it just pops him right over. But this Pascal, he could have saved this, just locked up the brakes here and not rolled all the way up into the wall and flipped, and he could have kept going. But that's one of those things where if you're wrecking, lock them up, and you might get lucky and stay on your right side up and be able to keep going. But let's see here. There was another lap somewhere. It was right after this restart. I think it's this stretch of laps here where everything's pretty consistent. 9, 8, 9, 1, a little bit up, and then 0 back to 9. And this is just kind of a decent, smooth stretch, I think. You are a little bit low on 2, like most of the laps, but for the most part, you were smooth like this down the straightaways. So you're letting the car get a little bit too low here, but even this, like getting up into the wall here, that's just because of that. See how much throttle you had here with all 4 tires in the slick, and then boom, the left rear says, "Oh, okay, all the weight's on my side. Well, I'm going to turn this way because that's the way I want to go." If you were like that other guy and you had all the weight over here on the right corner, on the right rear corner, you'd be going that way. That's the difference between loose and tight. Yeah, your car's a lot tighter, getting into the corner. When you've got it packed with right rear weight, because it makes it tougher to turn in because the weight doesn't shift to the left side. But down the straightaways, if you've got more weight on that left rear side and you're driving through the slick, or where even if you're on a good line, that left rear wants to turn you to the right, whereas the right rear wants to turn you to the left. And when that is the case, you could change that with shocks or make a little bit of an adjustment with static weight, but generally it's a more dynamic weight situation, whereas you can fix that with rear shocks. And then here we're just really low and a little too much throttle with the right rear and all, even the left rear in the slick here, and we have to snake this straightaway. And look at the difference in the lap. 9, 9, 8, or 9, 8, 9, then a 1, and we get back to a 0 and then back to a 9. And these are your two worst laps in this stretch, because you got really, really low through that exit of 2. Up here, the other thing too is you can cut down off this corner like this and drive through the slick here, but you want your car to be pointing you don't want it this way. See how if you just draw a straight line, you're pointing towards the middle of that corner there. You always want, if you draw a straight line off of your wing, you want your front of your wing over here driving it this way. Driving down the front stretch that way, not that way. Up here is your goal. But this one you didn't. You didn't overcorrect or put too much throttle into it, so you were fine down the backstretch. So you could see how much smoother you were. You got out of it a little bit, let the car settle underneath you, and you were okay. After this caution here, let's go green again. I don't remember exactly where it was. There was one more mistake that comes up here somewhere. More wiggling here, just same thing. Just a little bit of throttle and a little bit of dynamic weight issue. Not a bad lap there. That's a good lap. Looked like it in fast speed, full speed at least. Lap 24? 12.775, so yeah. Nice and high. Lost it a little bit, but you did You did an okay job down the backstretch, not getting too much into the throttle. Nice and high through 3 and 4. Lost it off the cushion just a little bit. Down the front stretch, I mean, that's perfect. Once you get the car corrected down the front stretch here, look where those right side tires are. That's that's perfect. The improvements are tenfold. I can tell you that much from what was happening before. This one here, this was just again a kind of a left rear drive issue, just a little bit too much, and it turned you hard like right there. It turned you so hard into the wall because there's bumps and stuff too, right? The car gets upset dynamically, and then the left rear's like, "Hey, I'll take over," and then you spin the rest of the lap, kind of correcting, because it messed up your entry to one. Again, here on the restart, I don't know what is going on with the lineup, but like the leader slows way down. I think he's going like almost 40, and then he's like, "Let me get out of the gas," and then 35, and then he's all of a sudden he wants to go. That was very strange to me. He had like a 5 mile per hour difference there. Um, and then the guys on the top of the track probably just never saw him like go. Like I don't know, you never know. Does this guy have triples? Does this guy have triple? Like who knows where if they're looking at him. So then again, it kind of just throws you off on your start, and then this guy's able to sneak by on the bottom. The rest of the way here, another caution. That's right, I forgot. Go green again. I don't know. This very strange pacing for me. It's like he's going 40 behind the truck, and he's like, okay, let me slow way down and bunch this line up down to almost 30 miles an hour, and then this is fine, I guess, like coming down into this lane, but then dropped to like 31 miles an hour again. I don't know. I don't care for that. These guys up here are like going 40 something, and it's throwing the whole field off. My whole philosophy is, and I think I said this in the SSR Discord, if you can't give the field a fair start, and you know you feel like you've got to play games on the restart to hold your position, then you're probably not fast enough to hold the lead. Um, there's no reason just to play games on the start. Like just go. Hold one speed and then just go at one point. Um, and then yeah, race is over here. Trying to avoid the wall again. Um, then the race is over anyway. Oh, this guy wants to come out and finish. But yeah, like I said, the improvements are tenfold for sure. Play your best lap here in slow motion while I'm talking, just ending it here. But yeah, the improvements are much better. You made far less mistakes coming out of every corner, and when you did it right, it looked really good. So um, you can see here just on the exit too. Look how nice and high you are. You let the car get off of it just a little bit, but you don't. You didn't stomp the throttle 100% to snap you back into the wall, which is much better. And then even this lap, let's go back and watch this one because this one, I even like this one better because the track's a lot slicker. Um, if you can just do this every time, it's nice and high through 1 and 2. You lose the cushion a little bit coming out of the corner, but you did a great job down the backstretch staying straight. And that's the biggest thing in the wing cars is you get those big sideboards cutting through the air coming at you nice and straight instead of left or right, left and right. The wind is going directly through them, so it's not hitting the side of it and slowing you down. Whereas in the corner it is obviously, which is nice because it slows you down a little bit and you don't drive straight through a wall. But down the front stretch, you want your car pointed straight every time. Anytime you're trying to go straight, you've got to make sure the car is straight and underneath you, evenly. In that lap there, it was just, I mean, that was your best lap of the race there. I know it wasn't your fastest lap of the race, but it was your fastest lap of the race in all this slick. You could see nines and eights, ones, zeros, twos, ones, and then boom, a seven, and that was really good laps. So that's the biggest key is just try to keep the car up there and trust that the wall is not going to jump out and grab you, because it's there. It won't move. I promise. No matter how much we want it to move, sometimes. But um, yeah, you keep that car pointed just dead straight down the straightaways like that on that lap, and you'll be set, man. That was a great lap. This was a really good race. I like a lot of the improvements I saw. Um, Maybe loosen up that car dynamically a little bit, keep a little bit more weight on that right rear, maybe add some rebound to the right rear or take some out of the left rear and see if that helps you a little bit. But yeah, no complaints from one replay review to the next. This was far and away much more improvement than I thought you were going to have in that short amount of time. So no, I mean, don't take that the wrong way, but this was much better than you were doing previously. I think that, what was that, like a Volusia race or something? Somebody's race. Oh no, that was Williams Grove. Yours was Williams Grove. That's right. So remember those straightaways, man? You were snaking back and forth. Those are long straightaways, so you had a lot of time to snake back and forth on those. So uh, here though, man, you some of these laps were really good. You just got to put that together for 30 laps, and you're going to be the one controlling the restarts and being able to maybe not play so many games. Unfortunately, that kind of hurt you on. I think you lost 2 spots at the end with kind of the weird games on the restart. But I mean, a fifth place finish, so not bad. Um, that's it for this one, though. I like what I see, man. Keep sending me these because this is a fun project to go over and see how these are going for you. As maybe every month or so, we'll see like how much better Scott Posey's gotten. um, but anyway, everybody that's watching, take care. Scott, take care. Like I said, great job in this one, man. You looked a lot better than that Williams Grove one. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.